guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today we're diving into my Halloween decks. So I've done a few of these like mini deck collection videos, like I did one for Dragons and Fairies decks that I have, for Goddess decks, my cute decks, like my kawaii decks, and I did, a bunch others, but, since Halloween seems to be coming early this year. I think people are like really just like, let's just dive into Halloween now. So I've already seen like Halloween haul videos, people decorating, people already got their Halloween trees. I'm like, okay. So I did a video on my dark decks, and actually I think these ones were in my dark decks collection because, well, some of them are, not all of them, but I don't, I wanted to pick decks that were specifically like very Halloween-y vibe, and some of them actually have Halloween in the name. So there's only a few here, but if you actually want to see like all of my dark decks, then definitely check out that deck collection, and you can find that in my favorites playlist. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Like I said, there's not that many, but if you want to go ahead and brew yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, then go ahead and do so. Or if you want to grab a glass of water or wine, that's up to you. All right, so the very first Halloween specific deck is, of course, the Halloween Tarot, because like, how is it not? This is put out by US Games, but it was created by Kipling West. And I've mentioned this deck before. Number one, it's cute because it comes in a tin, and I like decks that are of odd sizes. I know that there's a standard size version of it, but I prefer the little tin version. But anyway, it reminds me of my childhood. Like I was, well, I still am really into Halloween. And so like my mom she had made me, like, it was like a Halloween, my candy bag, and it glowed in the dark, and it had a picture of like a haunted mansion on it, and there was like ghosties and goblins, and basically it was kind of in this same art style, and actually the haunted house kind of looked just like that. So like I say, this really does take me back to my childhood. I used to wear like my vampire cape almost like all year round, and and my little fake fangs, and like I wanted to be a vampire. Like that's all I ever was. There was a few years where one of them, my mom made me be like a Crayola clown, and then I was like a bunny one year, but because my mom would like sew my costumes. Oh, and then one year she made me I was Lieutenant Commander Data from Star Trek. So I was like super excited about that costume because I have like the legit communicator pen. So, but yeah. So anyway, the Halloween Tarot, definitely, on the list. But I use these decks all year round. But since we're getting in the season, like, I'm gonna bust out stuff that's a little bit more specific. Okay, this next one is the Shadowland Tarot, and I got this in this little Halloweeny bag, which is pretty cool. And it has these beautiful gilded edges. This is the back. But yeah, again, also reminiscent of my childhood because it has that kind of like creepy cool imagery that I remember from, do you guys remember the poetry books, A Light in the Attic and Where the Sidewalk Ends? They were like the most checked out books in my elementary school library, and it was like there was only a couple of copies of each, and they were like always checked out because people would keep like rechecking them out. And so, but I was able to like get it a couple of times, and that was so cool, and I loved the art, and the art looked just like this. So this does remind me of my early days of reading Light in the Attic and Where the Sidewalk Ends. And actually, what else was I reading at that time? Oh, More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Very scary imagery in those books, by the way. I was always reading all these like scary stories and like murder stories, murder mystery, like totally warped child. So there we go. That is the Shadowland Tarot. But very, very Halloween vibe. It's not like, I don't think it's meant to be Halloween, but it's got a really good Halloween vibe to me. All right, the next one is the Bohemian Gothic Tarot, and that's by Alex Ukolov and Karen Mahoney. And this is comes from Baba Studios. And I actually heard that they may be ceasing to make tarot decks in the next like year or two. I'm like, what? No. I hope that's just a rumor. But anyway, this definitely is like Halloween vibes, like cheeky Halloween vibes, because this deck is totally not scary to me at all. It's just very funny to me and cheeky. And I have a couple of other Gothic decks. Like I said, they kind of go into the realm of like my darker decks, and I was kind of sticking with Halloween because to me Halloween is not it's not scary. It's like kind of mischievous and fun and full of magic and mystery, and to me that's not like a dark thing, you know. But anyway, so yeah, this is a rad deck. I've had it for a little while. I think it was like my first time I've ever spent quite a bit of money on a deck. All right, moving along, we have Mildred Payne's Oracle of Black Enchantment, and that is put out by the Deviant Moon. And I actually didn't bust out my Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle for this because to me that again just seemed more dark, but it didn't really seem Halloween-y to me. But this one kind of does for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but it just kind of does. There we go. All right, so we have these. They are huge cards, by the way. And I saw on the Deviant Moon, because I'm like subscribed to their emails, that they are re-putting this out, but in Halloween colors. So I'm contemplating it. I'm not sure, because then it would be in black and orange, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. It's like their little Samhain edition. I'm like, But yeah, I always love his artwork. It's so cool. So yes, this would be my other Halloween-y deck. Okay. Put this back in here. Let's see. Oh, we only have 4 left. Like I said, it's not a huge collection because I don't have that many that are like specifically to me feel Halloween-y. But I do have decks that are dark, hence the dark deck collection that I did. Okay, so this is the Dark Mansion Tarot, and to me, it kind of reminds me of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, like right on. Anyway, this one is put out by Taroteca Studio, and the graphic artist was Magdalena Kakzan, and yeah, okay, so let's pull this out. There we go. Again, a massive deck, but I got the large edition. Some people did not get the large edition. So it has like a muted gold edges, which are pretty cool. And like I said, this just reminds me of Disneyland, Haunted Mansion / Nightmare Before Christmas kind of vibes. And I saw that there is a Nightmare Before Christmas tarot that's either coming out or it has come out. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. It's just so quirky. It's so cool. I dig it. This is such a neat deck, and I think I've done reviews of all of these decks. So if you want like an actual in-depth review where you get to see all of the cards and I get to talky about it, then check out my deck reviews playlist. I have like a lot of reviews on there because what I'm trying to do now is just do like one review every Sunday. So there's always a review of some deck that I have every Sunday for you guys, so definitely check it out. Okay, our third to last deck is the Trick or Tarot, and this is put out by Duck Soup. I think I used to have a few. I think I have a couple Duck Soup decks left, but This one gets a lot of use all year round. So this one has black edging, by the way, and they are super laminated and shiny, so they tend to get away from me when I'm shuffling them. And I just realized it just like matches my candles so nicely. Okay, so definitely old school Halloween, which I don't know about you guys, but I think old school Halloween looks a little creepier than modern Halloween. I don't know. And I know I've done a review of this deck as well. Yeah, I've done a review of all of these decks, actually, now that I think about it, except for the Shadowland Tarot. I don't think I reviewed that one yet, but all the rest of these have reviews. So they are like so slippery. That's my only like thing, is I just wish they were not slippery. But otherwise, a great deck to use, and I use it all year round. So there we go. Okay, that is the Trick or Tarot. And let's put this away. Get back in your box. Okay. And then we have the Halloween Oracle. Yay! And then my watch said yay. And this is by Stacy DeMarco. It has the cutest backings I've ever seen on a deck. So look at those backings. They are adorbs. And it's funny because I don't feel like this super quirky, like cute backing actually fits like with the cards, because they're like a little more serious, sort of tongue-in-cheek serious. But but I love it anyway. I always definitely bust it out on Halloween, but I kind of bust it out all year, like for all of these decks. I know some people have seasonal decks where they're like, oh, I only kind of really work with these during this season or this season. For me, you know, I kind of feel all seasons at once. Maybe it's because I live in San Diego and we really don't have seasons, but yeah, I will use this deck. I will use this deck all the time while eating green eggs and ham. Okay, our very last deck, as you guys probably saw, was Le Vampire, and this artwork is by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, who I love her artwork, and the creator is Lucy Cavendish. I have a few other like Jasmine Beckett Griffith decks that, you know, are kind of shadowy, but those are more like my darker decks, my shadow decks. And this one, you know, with vampires, okay, it's like kind of more Halloween. Again, big cards, that's because they are that kind of big oracle size. But yeah, I think really good for Samhain, for Halloween. And I didn't, and people might ask, oh, why didn't I use my Santa Muerte deck? Because I don't feel that that is a season. You know, Santa Muerte to me is well, she's one of my deities, you know, so I don't connect her with any particular season. You know, sometimes people erroneously say that she is like the mother of Dia de los Muertos, but like her origins, you know, come from Mictecacihuatl and her husband, rulers of the underworld. So I can kind of see how they kind of get mixed in with Dia de los Muertos and Halloween and all that stuff. But to me, she's more deity and not a season. So yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, that's it from me, spiritual homies. Those were all of my Halloween specific decks. You know, so if you've been looking for decks for Halloween, hopefully this piqued your interest, or maybe you just came by to have a little bit of fun and look at some fun decks, in which case I hope you had a good time. So that's it from me. If you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. Not only do I have a plethora of readings, but also have my room and body sprays, my pendants that I make, my bracelets that I make, and I also have my Wally's World Oracle, which was community created and community funded. That's my little Wally Wallito. And if you want to throw a little love my way, think about joining the KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot. And yeah, I will catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.